jiahui breaks off. Yes, the refereeing ranks are a little stretched at the moment because, of course, up in Barnsley in Yorkshire, not too far from here, over the next 3 days, it is qualifying for the Bedvictor Welsh Open.
Yeah, correct me if I'm wrong, but we've got a trio of new referees for this Championship League. Some unfamiliar faces, as you say. Gary here on table 1, Natalia Gradinari over on table 2, and Julian Bell backstage waiting in the ranks.
Yeah, I know that Julian's definitely refereed the ranking version of the Championship League, which again will come your way in the summer. I think it's going to be fast and furious, this group. Hard to guarantee anything with best of 5 frame matches, apart from quality.
It brings such an interesting dynamic, this winners group, because we've seen such free-flowing snooker up to now, and it sort of felt like some really solid paid match practice for the players, particularly in the run-up to the Masters and, of course, the German Masters last week. But it feels like serious business all of a sudden. Same format, remember, group matches best of 5. Top 4 players will contest a semi-final tomorrow, and then an eventual champion. But these early exchanges, these early matches, very, very important. Judd Trump was very consistent and very reliable in his early games in his previous groups. Got off to a good start, put himself in a strong position. Can he do the same today?
Well, in 2 groups, he made 16 century breaks. 8 in one, 8 in the other. And the way he won Group 6 was sensational.
These early exchanges, very important for the players to just get to grips with the conditions early on. The tables will have been reinstalled back into this Mattioli arena. New cloths, new cushions. They'll be very slippy. The conditions of the previous groups were sort of a theme. They were playing brilliantly, and the players really thrive in those environments. When the conditions are nice, they score so heavy, the balls open nicely and make the game look ridiculously simple. If the conditions are playing great, which they should be, and I expect them to be, we could be in for a real score fest once again.
Well, a score fest was certainly the case the last time these two played. C winning 6-2 in the semi-final of the Wuhan Open earlier this season. Had 3 centuries, did C, including a 144 and a 147. That said, though, when it comes to their entire head-to-head, it is Trump who leads 6-1. And that includes a 10-5 victory in the final of the German Masters last year. Well, what a shot that is, and what an outcome.
Yeah, that was a superb shot from jiahui. Played it very well, committed fully to it, controlled the cue ball through the reds for the black, so first good chance for C. Judd will be disappointed. A couple of shots ago, he had a chance at that red to middle, which he played sort of in a way that he couldn't leave anything. Maybe had one eye on the safety. Getting the cue ball in behind the green, knowing it'd be on the brown. Either way, it didn't find its target, so jiahui in.
8. Nine.
Although, as I mentioned before, they are familiar with each other. This is their first
13.
meeting in the Championship League.
Oh no, Gary's put the brown on the wrong spot. And jiahui is going to play the shot now, which means it's going to have to stay. Sorry to interrupt you there, Phil.
It was worth interrupting. I was looking at my notes. I wasn't looking at the table. Oh dear, what a shame. Dare I say
40.
it? Good Evans. Or in this case, not so good.
Well, it certainly doesn't make a difference at the moment, but should it go close later on in the frame,
21.
the green at the minute will have to be respotted on the brown spot. So, as I say, it may not make too much of a difference, but I'm surprised neither player noticed it. Can't even use the excuse that there've been long days here at Championship League, because this is the first day back.
jiahui, 21.
Well, it makes a bit of a difference here because Judd can't get to the red on the right side of the table now. So maybe tempting this red to right corner. Stun across the face of the pink for the black.
Yeah, not making excuses for the referee. Of course, the brown was spotted into the green pocket, and maybe that was a sort of conditioned response.
Well, a good attempt, got very close to it. Couldn't control where the red would finish. Having missed it, he's caught the black and stuck it over the left corner pocket, so this now provides inroads for Judd Trump. Get nice on his next colour here.
1.
Looking for an angle. A bit straight on the blue.
In groups 5 and 6, yes, Trump wanted to win, of course, to be here, but he also wanted to make as many centuries as he possibly could. First player to 100 centuries in professional competition this season will receive £100,000 bonus. So if he could win this group, and replicate what he did in the previous two groups, he'd be on 75 with a chance of
4.
cashing in on that bonus. That will be, though, a very tough task. I think here, given the quality of the opposition, the main priority of his focus must be to win frames.
Yeah, I agree, Phil. The event feels like it's changed now. We're at the business end, and you know, we're 2 days away from realising the champion of this tournament. It does feel a little more serious.
12.
But again, it's the same format, as I say, and that in itself can often just ease the players a fraction. They know they've got another game coming. I do expect to see some high scoring snooker because the players on display are all very heavy scorers.
90.
Trump and indeed Karen Wilson
20.
have a little less incentive than the other 5 players because they're already in the Champion of Champions. Trump having won the UK Championship. Wilson,
27.
freshly minted German Masters champion.
28.
But Trump is hungry for
35.
success. He wants to get those professional titles to the highest possible number.
Now the cannon to the red went slightly astray. He was hoping to be on the one to right corner, the one that he's closest to, but the cue ball just didn't quite travel on. This red to the middle pocket though, quite thin.
36.
Now he's okay. He may have just had a nice cannon to the green as well, give him a little angle to get down for that red beneath the pink. Landed absolutely perfect, and if he's just low on this red, he could possibly bring more reds into play. I'd like to be able to
41.
just run through and glance maybe 1 or 2 out. That's what
42.
he's tried, but he's lost the cue ball slightly. With every shot played here, Judd is just getting to grips with exactly how this table is playing, exactly how the balls are opening. Trying to make a mental note of this for the rest of the next 2 days.
And this is an absolute beauty. The pot in itself was good enough, but look at position. Okay, being really pernickety. Cue ball's a little close to the side cushion, but that was a gem.
Yeah, it's a shot that looks great, but for someone like Judd, it's such a simple shot. The brown being off its spot there helped massively because it just was a natural angle to go the 2 cushions, past the yellow, back down the table. It was all about pace, that shot, and he played it to perfection.
So what are you saying, Stephen?
57.
The brown being erroneously off its spot could have made a difference.
Yeah, because it just gives you a smaller target to get through. That way, Judd would have just fancied that shot. Almost impossible for him to go wrong. But it has gone wrong there.
Judd Trump, 57.
Yeah, bad enough missing the red, but also leaving it on.
It was a surprising miss that from Trump. He was starting to go well there, but come out of nowhere, so this frame is still very much live.
Over on table 2, by the way, 1 red left in the first frame between Karen Wilson and Zhao Guodong. Wilson needs a snooker.
One.
Now, Stephen, this will test his positional skills.
Well, the two reds must be close to a plant to this left corner pocket. And if they are, that's a shocker of a miss from jiahui, because he could have left his cue ball anywhere. He didn't try and have to hold as much as he did. And they were a dead set plant.
One.
Yeah, I could see he was putting lots and lots of side on the ball. That's why I said it's going to test his positional skills, never realising that the plant was there. Made that black unnecessarily complex. And now, although Trump undercooks the white, the penultimate red is frame ball.
8. Nine. Eleven.
I think it's the appropriate time to mention the fact that in the winners group, it's £200 per frame won, not £100, as is the case in regulation groups.
19. $21. Judd Trump, 21, and the frame.
Overseas jiahui.
Judd Trump.
On table 2, Karen Wilson trails Zhao Guodong by a frame to 0. As I said before, there is other snooker going on right now up in Barnsley in Yorkshire. Up the M1 from here. First qualifying ground of the Bedvictor Welsh Open. And as the day progresses, we will keep you updated with the scores there. Right now, Ishpreet Singh Chadha of India leads by Pad Sirapaporn of Thailand 3-0. Andrew Higginson's made a good start against Daniel Womersley, 3-0 up. And it's also 3-0 for Mitchell Mann over Dean Young. Liam Graham, who came so close to winning the shootout right here at the Mattioli Arena in December, he's taken a 2-0 lead over Julian Boyko. Alan Taylor and Haris Tahir 1-1. Same score for Manasawa Fatmalaikal and Ross Muir.
Well, he'll be bitterly disappointed, jiahui, because that previous frame, the black that he missed, was very, very poor. I suppose we can forgive him somewhat with it being the first frame of the day, but you don't get many chances against someone like Judd Trump. When they do come along, you have to take them. Of course, these still very short matches, short sprints. You don't want to miss too many balls like that. Caught the safety much too thin. Has he left anything to this left corner? The raise of the hand suggests not. But what it does do is provide a good opportunity for Judd to put jiahui in a lot of trouble. And on table, I expect Trump's cue ball to be much closer to this baulk cushion. Big targets as well up there to try and get in behind. Good line.
Of course, Trump leads the world rankings. Jiahui in 12th. Third highest ranked Chinese player, actually. Only Deng Junhui in 9 and Zhang Anda in 10 are better.
That's an error, and this time from Trump. That situation, usually you would like to play the figure of S safety shot, swing the cue ball around, try and cut off the right side of the pack because there's a lot of congestion and traffic down the left side, but because of that red over this left corner pocket, that wasn't an option for Trump. Having to play the thin edge, which comes with risks, the biggest being the bump of the middle pocket, which he found. Well, it was a calculated gamble. He knew that his cue ball was going into the reds and colours. Took a chance to try and get them into play, and it's worked out an absolute treat. He's got the black in open play. He's landed right behind it to the middle pocket. The black now will pot into both corner pockets, I believe, once respotted. This is a brilliant chance for jiahui all of a sudden.
Yeah, when he powered that red in left-handed, and we saw the finishing position of the cue ball, I was about to say he's been unlucky. But where the black finished up, it was entirely the opposite. What a chance.
Yes, and immediately he'll be looking at this table, just doing some quick maths in his
16.
head, thinking there's 50, 60 points here with very little work to be done. So it's all about cue ball control now. Just this is very much a frame in which jiahui may just settle into this match and the group. Got to take this chance. He has to take it. But he couldn't have wished for a better one.
$24. 25.
He'd like to keep himself on the black for as long as possible, purely because that just limits how far the cue ball is going to travel. And all the while, these reds and blacks, we're all getting a bit excited, but it's not a great chance for a maximum. The 4 reds beneath the black are trouble. As I say, make sure of the frame first, make this chance count.
32. $33.
Groups 5, 6 and 7 were all played over 6 consecutive days the week before last. And we had countless 1-4-7 chances, proper chances. In the end, one was finally converted by Dave Gilbert. We've had 2 in this year's Championship League because much earlier Jack Jones put together break building perfection.
40.
No, he might have a job on trying to stay on this black now. He's on this red to left corner, but he's very close to it, and it's a bit thinner than he would have liked. Well, he was up
Jiahui,
instantly.
40.
Didn't land nice there. Had to play a little controlled cannon to the black. Though the lead 40 points, but one that will disappear very quickly, you feel.
Yeah, 2 balls that have been undercut now. One that gave Trump the chance to tidy up in the first frame. One that gives him the opportunity here to double his advantage.
Good.
I must say, from the first frame and a half here, the table looks to be running like glass. Looks so quick. The cushions don't look to be that soft at all, considering it's a new cloth as well. Looks to be playing exactly how the players would want it to.
8.
Notoriously, when the conditions are brand spanking new, the pockets play on the generous side, which all adds to the excitement as well.
By the way, it's hold the back page on table 2. Karen Wilson has just missed a short range red with the rest. Steward's inquiry.
$70.
Yeah, proving your point there.
20.
Trump played that shot very delicately.
He also played the previous red very intelligently, the red to middle. Going up, leaving the cue ball on the baulk cushion, just in case. He's tidying up the table as well in the process. Feel like it's going to be all about these 3 reds on this top cushion now.
28.
3 in open play should be no issues for Trump.
$29.
And the thing you can't help but respect about Judd Trump, he's always been a special talent. He's always been a wonderful entertainer. Simply brilliant shot maker. But now, and you'll appreciate what I'm saying here, Stephen, he's a really good pro, isn't he? Just gives every frame, every match, 100% effort.
Yeah, he's admirable, isn't he? He's superb. He is the all-round package. He's got the flair when you want to see it, but he can also dig his heels in. And he's become, really, the ultimate winner. You know, his all-round game is so strong. Every department he's very strong in. And it's something that he's had to work very hard on, and something he'll openly admit to you. You know, he's always been a great potter, always been a great scorer, but could he compete in a tactical department with the game's greats? The answer to that question was no, but he certainly can now.
Trump. 42.
Not in top gear yet. Hasn't really settled down, but he's right back in the frame. Now that's a part of jiahui's game that could do with some improvement.
One.
That red should have been nowhere near the pocket.
Seven.
Now the three remaining reds might look troublesome. I was about to say the only way you can miss them across these cushions is by playing them at pace, and in forcing out for the black, that's what Trump has done.
One.
Well, that was a lovely strike from jiahui. He's a very, very good ball striker. He really does like to crunch them in. Now, the cue ball has held up this side of the baulk line, which helps massively. You can pop this brown, get down for the reds, but got to be very precise with where he leaves his cue ball. Not sure if he can attempt to bring anything into play, so I presume he'll just be screwing down, trying to lay on one to pop down the cushion. He's gone way too far. And again, he'll be disappointed with that. That was a poor attempt.
Jiahui. 5.
And the safety wasn't exactly telling either, was it? Caught that red just slightly thicker than he wanted to. Another mistake to report from Karen Wilson. Over on table 2, a missed pink to middle.
I'm particularly interested to see how Kyron performs over today and tomorrow. No doubt he'll be suffering from a hangover from the German Masters. That atmosphere looked absolutely incredible. This is a good shot from Trump if the cue ball pulls up, which it hasn't. Yeah, can Kyron get himself back up to try and win a tournament again? Going to take a real effort from him. That was a big mistake from Judd because he brought both reds into play there, left the red over the corner pocket. He was very close to getting that cue ball in behind the yellow. Been far from vintage so far. But once again, another chance as the black just wriggles in off the near knuckle. Another day, another table. That may have stayed out. Very shaky start from jiahui. Can he just steady himself now to make this clearance?
You would assume this shot will be the biggest. Doesn't want to be straight, but even then, the problem can be solved. He needs yellow, green and brown.
$17. $20. $24.
It's going to be simultaneous Chinese frame wins here at the Mattioli Arena. Jiahui getting back onto level terms with Judd Trump. Zhao Guodong just about to take a 2-0 lead over Kyron Wilson.
35. 42 in the frame.
If the cue ball stops another inch earlier, well, there are issues. It is 1-1, Judd Trump and Jiahui. Over on table 2, Zhao Guodong 2-0 up on Kyron Wilson. Next up, by the way, on table 2, Matthew Selt enters the fray against Hossein Vafai, and here on table 1, Trump remains out there against Mark Selby. Lovely pot. Just a pity you didn't clip the black and free that.
Yeah, a shot that someone like Trump is just so good at. You expect him to knock that in 10 out of 10. But the cue ball has just travelled on, and again it shows how quick this table is playing. He would have struck that intentionally trying to pull the cue ball up this side of the baulk line. Not to be. Oh, that looked a bit pacey, but he's got away with it.
Best of 7 frames, of course, in those Welsh Open qualifiers, and Ishpreet Singh Chadha and Andrew Higginson are winners already this morning. Ishpreet defeated by Pat Siripaporn 4-0. Andrew Higginson whitewashed Daniel Womersley by the same score. I must say, Stephen, I enjoyed going back to the old best of 9 frames last week at the German Masters. When I first started covering snooker in the late 80s, best of 9 frames was the stock distance. You don't see it too often now, and I think it really does appeal.
Yeah, I like best of 9s. I think they're the perfect length match, in all honesty. They're long enough to make it feel like a proper game, but they're also short enough for it to not drag on. You get that little interval as well, which can often turn matches. It feels like a game of 2 halves at times. As Trump knocks in another great long red. I think most professional players, when they're practicing, will actually practice and have sets of best of 9s against one another. I know I do. I feel like a 9 is a good length of time to be playing before having a little break for dinner or something.
Six.
Well, he's not ideal on the pink. It's a fiddly little shot, this. With the cue ball so close to the pink and potting into a semi-blind pocket, so easy to misjudge.
played to hold the spot as well, which I think he's done. Well, he hasn't, so
30.
might be okay. He can still get through to the middle of the white here, and that pink will pop to this right corner, and now the left as well. So this is now a good chance. He's happy to leave the black where it is, out of commission, just work off these reds in open play. Trump will know that he hasn't quite hit the ground running so far this morning. Of course, there's a lot of snooker to be played over the next couple of days, but he will also have noticed that jiahui is by far from at the races just yet. And I think of the two, Judd will probably back himself to find that extra gear when he needs it more. And he'll be looking to try and do that here. As once again, another red goes astray.
He can't plant anything onto it, though. See?
I just wonder if he'll try and play off the left side as we look of the two reds closest together by the black spot and try and pop the red with the white. He's got to move that red somehow, and I think if he tops off that left red of the two, he'll go close to it. Yeah, good shot. And he's got the cue ball out, and he's got a shot at the blue to the yellow pocket. He's not ideal, but at least he's got something.
Yeah, the old carom shot that was employed by Dave Gilbert, wasn't it, in the semi-finals of Group 7? The starter Raymond match-winning break.
Six.
Yeah, carom is laid on a table with no pockets. But in 9-ball pool, when you do that, you play off one ball and knock in another. That's what they call it, the old carom shot. They also call it the kiss shot.
7. $30. $40.
On table 2, Jiahui has just spotted a really good pressure red to open up the possibility of a frame-winning visit and 3-0 over Karen Wilson very early in the third frame. Must say that, but what an opportunity he's given himself.
That was a nice positional shot from jiahui.
20.
Topping the cue ball twice across. Get on this red to left corner. Now the red at the back of the little cluster of 4, it may be available to the right corner pocket.
21.
He certainly won't be playing on it from there. If he's low on that red at the back of that 4, it may provide a chance to bring them all into play at some point, but as I say, he'll do very well to get on that from this shot. Again, another very, very poor positional shot from jiahui. Oh, but that is brilliant. He's lost the cue ball, but what a pot. Well, he's lost it to the corner of the table and he's on nothing.
26.
Well, my sense of fair play makes me glad he didn't go in off there. That would have been a very unfortunate occurrence.
26.
Of course, it would have led to a effective 10-point swing.
And that was what jiahui was concerned with. That red on the top cushion was causing him problems to try and get back to baulk. It's amazing. If that red's not there, you probably go nowhere near it, but it just looks like such a big ball from the baulk area. And worse yet, he opened more reds as well.
One.
Two reds either side of the black are the problem balls here for Trump. Pot this red, play up this pink, pot this red in baulk, get his way back down this business end. But he'll need to figure out how to bring those two reds into play at some stage. Or at least one of them.
8. 8.
And again, how was the cue ball? Ran on from there. It looked like it was going to pull up for the blue.
$40. $50.
Trump knows the importance of getting an early win. He knows all about the Championship League. Real veteran of this tournament. Won it in 2009. And then again in 2014 and 2016. He knows if he can win this match and the next against Mark Selby, he would be very much on the way to the semi-finals.
21.
1 foot in the door.
$22.
Well, he might have just caught the wrong red there, Trump. He played a very delicate one from the pink to land on that red. He was convinced he was on it. Didn't look from the camera angle that we had that he could pot it clean.
Pink ball.
He didn't do in the end. So end of break, trying to lay up a good safety shot in which he has played one.
Okay.
Push the pink to the side cushion as well for a little bit of insurance should it come to it. Trump with the lead in this frame.
As I suspected, Xiao Guodong, after that really good opening red, has placed himself on the cusp of a 3-0 win over Kyron Wilson. Now that's a great result for him. One thing you don't want to do is lose your first match 3-0 because, of course, getting into those playoffs might come down to frames difference. So the worst possible start to the group, it would appear, for the world champion. No doubt it is going to be 3-0 to Xiao Guodong, who this season is playing the snooker of his career.
Yeah, and a real chance for the first ton of this winners group from Zhao, as jiahui again plays a poor safety to push the red over the corner pocket, immediately presenting a chance for Trump to get back in. The safe reds are now in open play. Had a nice angle on that yellow to drop it in, and it just about wriggles in. Oh, Judd will be glad that this is a brand new cloth, because that certainly slipped in off that jaw.
Four.
Again, he's out of position. It's been really hard graft these first few frames. It's not over yet. 21 points the lead. 35, sorry, on the table. Can't see Trump attempting anything daft here. Yellow to the side cushion, cue ball in behind.
Trump 4.
Green and brown. Just trying to turn the screw.
Okay. Okay.
It is official on table 2. They've shaken hands. Xiao Guodong has beaten Kyron Wilson 3-0. This is what I was saying earlier, Stephen, about Trump being a good pro. He's already won a record amount of prize money this season, and yet he's never satisfied, and that's a great thing. Playing very hard ball here. He's got yellow on side cushion, pink on the other side cushion as insurance policies, and doing the right things.
Yeah, that's all about mentality, isn't it? And that's something that he's developed as he's matured as a player and a person. I think if anything, he's come to realise just how talented he is. He's probably always known it in the back of his mind, but you win the few tournaments like he did early on in his career and play some of the snooker that we've seen from Judd Trump over the years, and I think he's realised what a special talent he is, and that maturity has now come to fruition. He wants to try and win as much as he can, while he's in the peak of his powers.
Oh, miss. Trump
Now
4.
this is going to be a free ball, so Trump will come to the table, have a little look, see if there's anything else he can do to tie things up.
Working on the perfectly reasonable premise that this snooker is tougher than the original, putting C back in.
Might be worth an attempt, this red. He's quite good at this type of shot, Judd. But that half ball pot doesn't really miss that many of them. And again, that finds its target, so that now surely the end of this frame.
6. Should wrong, 6.
You can't get any closer without knocking it in. I thought we might see an outrageous fluke snooker there. See, 31 behind, 27 on, so only one snooker needed, actually. Not out of this yet. I think he is now.
2. Should wrong, 2.
It was such a clever shot from Judd. Judging the little flick off the pink to get him behind the green. Knew that the yellow was going to go close for a cross double. Just clever snooker.
I think it's fair to say that C lazy snooker like Judd Trump did at C's age now. I.e., you know there's bags of potential. You know on a good day he can blitz anyone. But he does need to tighten up to improve the defensive part of his game. As for Trump, he's got all the moves. You see, that was, again, quite clumsy. He has played light years from his best as Judd Trump, and yet barring something totally unexpected, he will lead 2-1. And that's what he does these days. He can get results when he's not at peak form. That's what you have to do on the circuit.
Yeah, but he's had a lot of help from his opponent as well. I think that's fair to say. Jiahui is yet to perform to the level that we're actually accustomed to seeing him play at in recent years. He's a talent that is very much on the rise in the game.
Three.
Yeah, you're totally right, but Trump hasn't been slapdash. He's been totally commercial.
Twelve. Eighteen. Friend.
This has been a much scrappier match than we anticipated. Xiao already underway, the second match on table 2. Matthew Selt in amongst the balls in the first frame against Hossein Vafai. As for here, no fireworks yet.
Nice attacking safety shot, that from Jiahui. Opening a few reds, he's got the perfect length on his cue ball. Tight to that baulk cushion almost. It's cut off a number of options for Judd. He's concerned about the red by the right corner. In playing back to balk, he may not can avoid leaving that as a tempter for jiahui. But in trying to dump the cue ball in this area, he may leave tempters elsewhere. Well, he studied it for a moment or two and he took his time, tried to figure out what his options were and where the value was for him. Felt that the attacking option was the best bet. It was a very tough pot.
One.
Now that's one of the aspects of jiahui's game that's right up there. When he's got those recovery blues, those cueing shots, he's as good as anyone.
Seven.
Took a chance there to bring more reds into play and maybe edged his bets that he might bring the black into play as well. That hasn't quite happened. And actually he's tied the pink up as again, so back up for the blue, which has gone wrong.
40.
You can always tell from a player when they play a shot that doesn't quite go to plan. They always seem to glance around at the scoreboard, more of a glance of disgust that the cue ball hasn't obeyed and done what the player asked of it.
Ball.
Just chasing once again here, jiahui. Got to find another good recovery pot here. It's a big stretch. There's reds underneath him as well that he needs to be careful of. He's a tall lad though, he can stretch right across the table. One good pot and he'll be back in prime position.
Yeah, good point about him being tall. He was practicing a little earlier on and I walked past him and I was struck by just how tall he is. Tall with a big future. Let's not forget, Stephen, that
21.
in 2023 he was almost in the world final. Had it not been for that extraordinary comeback from Luca Bracel, he would have played in snooker's biggest match.
$22.
Yeah, and something else to make that sound even more outrageous is that a couple of seasons prior to that, he was on the Q Tour. A very quick rise to the top end of the world rankings, I suppose, for jiahui. Been a brilliant talent for a long time. but it doesn't always mean that you're going to perform and produce the goods on the tour. It's a very cutthroat, tough place to be. But he's mixing it with the best players in the world now, and he's really competing at that level. Only a matter of time until he wins a tournament, in my opinion. Of course, he lost to Zhao Guidong in the Wuhan Open final earlier on this season. I actually thought that was quite a surprise, in all honesty. No disrespect to Zhao Guidong, he's been a great player for a long period of time, but Si Jiahui was very much in form and felt like he was bubbling up for a big one. Not to be. Maybe just that little lack of experience, but he's learning all the time still. He's young enough.
Yes, it's been a while since he was involved in this Championship League. He won Group 2. That was in early January.
29.
The man who won Group 1, Hossein Vafai, in action on the other table. He was 39-0 down to Matt Selt. Selt missed a black off its spot. Vafai's responded with 52 so far. A C misses the blue. And that will not do.
It just shows the importance of cue ball control, doesn't it? He was the wrong side of the blue again. Having to go in and out of balk. It shouldn't have been an issue. I didn't expect it to be a problem for Si Jiahui, but when you just ask yourself the odd question here and then, sometimes you can come unstuck. And ultimately, he's paid the price. He was chasing that break right from the off, Si Jiahui. He did well to make 29 from where he kept finding himself. Now Trump will be keen to get that pink and black in play.
The cue ball again, as Stephen alluded to earlier. It's finding difficulty applying the brakes.
7.
Very slick playing surface.
Yeah, and Trump couldn't have wished to have landed in a better position, actually. What a result he's had being on that red through the gap. I can assure you he certainly didn't play for it. But in potting it, it's now opened the pink into the left corner pocket, which is a big positive for Judd. He can chip away at these reds now and not have to travel as far going up the top side on the blue.
Nineteen.
So once again, it's quite a precise little break that Judd's going to have to make here. He's done the right thing, just coming around, have a look at where he'll be on this red at the back of the cluster. He's seeking a slight angle to get the cue ball back out.
26.
Well, and he's really not got through that one. That's a classic example of almost quitting on the shot on delivery because you're actually scared you might overcook it. Conditions so slippy, so reactive. Possibly just second-guessed himself on delivery there, Judd.
Yellow ball. Good trump, 27.
Wanted the cue ball more to the left as we're looking, so wanted a thicker contact on the yellow to achieve that.
Yeah, and he might have left a shot to nothing for C to this right corner pocket. His cue ball will be going back towards Bork if he catches the red thin enough. And now he's hoping that it bounces off this Bork cushion and gives him a chance at something to the middle bag. Well, he's got the brown, but my goodness, that is risky.
Quickly, let me tell you, Hossein Vafai 1-0 up on Matthew Selt.
Jiahui, 1.
It's the modern way to take on that risky Bork colour to middle.
One. Seven.
The yellow that was put safe by Trump
8.
will be required.
Now he's got the angle on this red to possibly re-promote that yellow, should he wish to.
50.
I think it's a chance he'll probably look to take. He never usually shies away from the attacking option. It's a good shot.
60.
It's a very good shot.
Yeah, good call, Stephen. Well played by Trump.
He would have seen that yellow as a big target, slightly off the side cushion. The angle he was coming at it from, he would have been so unlucky of not to have been on something.
80.
The brown was available to middle, the green as well had it come away from the cushion. Good thinking, good choice.
20.
So green and brown required. For Trump to be off, not to a flying start, that would be over-egging it, but a winning start.
Yeah, it's been very workmanlike, hasn't it? At the end of the day, it's job done if this brown disappears. The points is in the bag.
27. $32. $38.